Have you ever thought about building a rally car? I've got lots of mates who are doing exactly the same thing. They've been asking me lots of questions and I thought, you know what? Let's make a video about it. Welcome to the Gentleman's Motor Racing team, where we are competing in motorsport as a fun experience, and we're probably unique as most of our sponsorship is through crowdfunding from lovely people like you. Your support, as always, is hugely appreciated. Thank you very much. So here are 10 things, no, that's 5, isn't it? Here are 10 things that you need to know about when building a rally car. Okay, disclaimer, it's very important that you get hold of the current Motorsport UK yearbook, also known as the Blue Book. This is where all the regulations for stage rallying in the UK are listed, and obviously this can change from year to year, so make sure that when you're building it to the current specs. Right, let's crack on. First one, ROPS. That's a rollover protection as far as Motorsport UK is concerned. Now you have to have a regulation roll cage fitted to your rally car. You have the choice of either going bolt-in or weld-in. That's entirely up to you. Quite a few people find it difficult to interpretate the rules for ROPS in the Blue Book. So for me, the best option was just to buy a bolt-in one that met those regs. So I went to safety devices, said, can I have a roll cage that will meet the regs for stage rallying for my Classic Mini? And they went, yep, this is the one you need. If you don't want a bolt-in one and you want a weld-in one, then I highly advise that you go to a specialist roll cage manufacturer and they will do it for you. Seats, of course you need 2, one for yourself, one for your navigator. Now it's not the case of just bolting them in. If it's a new build, the seat mounts need to meet the new build regulations. The specs again are in the Blue Book. Making them to fit your car is quite easy if you're into fabrication. Otherwise, again, you need to get somebody that knows what they're doing and make sure they build it to the right spec. I actually bought mine as a kit. The seats themselves obviously have to meet the regulations, and just be aware that seats do have an expiry date for rallying. I highly advise that you buy new seats for 2 reasons. One, if you buy second-hand, you have no idea what abuse they've had in the past. You're obviously buying new, you're maximising the amount of time that those seats will last in your rally car before you have to replace them. It's the same score with harnesses. They have an expiry date, so you will need hands compatible harnesses. So basically that's a 2-inch strap that goes over your shoulder. You will need a regulation plumbed in fire extinguisher, so it will have nozzles inside the car for the driver and the navigator. It will have nozzles in the engine bay pointing at the things that are most likely to cause issues. Activation could be mechanical or electronic, it doesn't matter, but what is important that the driver and navigator can activate it while strapped into their seats. There also has to be a highly visible external activation for marshals in the event of a fire. There also has to be a regulation fire extinguisher inside the vehicle that can be accessed by driver and navigator. Be aware, these fire extinguishers have to be serviced every 2 years. Do you remember when we did the Bovington Rally, I said that the scrutineer had an issue with our fire extinguisher in our car? The issue was that our fire extinguisher was too close to the side of the car. Now the rules say that it has to be more than 300 millimeters. We were probably about 10 mil too close. So we've moved it and it's now pretty much in the middle. Of course, patrons and YouTube members know all about this and what was involved in moving that fire extinguisher, as well as me trying to sort out, look, the damage that I caused crashing the Mini at a few events. And of course they know about this because I make a video every week known as the midweek update video. This is where you can keep bang up to date with all of our projects, help solve problems, and effectively be a virtual member of the team. To see all these videos, why not become a patron or a YouTube member? Your support, as always, is hugely appreciated. Thank you very much. Glass. The windscreen has to be laminated The rest of the glass can be toughened, but if it's on the side, if you have toughened glass on the side, you have to have that protective film on the inside to stop it from, well, it's always going to shatter, but from stopping that glass from ending up all over the place. Rear screen, you don't need that film. Everything apart from the windscreen, if you want to use Lexan or Perspex or whatever the regulation is, it's 4mm by the way, you're more than welcome to do that. Electrical cutout. Now again, the driver and navigator must be able to reach the cutout switch to cut out all the electrics on the car. And now this is just not a battery isolator, it is actually designed to earth the system, so any residue electronics can be killed straight away. This also has to be activated by a marshal on the outside. Fuel. The fuel tank has to have a rollover valve. So yes, all fuel tanks will have a breather, because obviously when fuel comes out you have to get air in, don't you? In that system it has to have a rollover valve, so in the event of you sticking your car upside down, all the fuel's not going to run out of the breather. Also, if it's a fuel injection car, you must have a fuel sampling takeoff thing, so that if a marshal wants to make sure that you're running legit fuel, they can do that without having to break your fuel injection system. If it's carb, it's not really an issue, because you can just pull it off your carb and go, there you go mate. If you do choose to put your fuel tank in the back, it has to have a fuel bowl to collect any spillage. Horns. These also need to be activated by the driver and the navigator. In our classic Mini, the horn is on the stalk for me, and there's a foot button for our navigator. However, I have seen a cool trick where they just put the button in the middle of the dashboard where the driver and navigator can reach it. Only one button. Clever. Tow points. Obviously, at some time you're going to have an off, so you need suitable tow points at the front and the rear of your rally car. Scrutineers aren't fan of those canvas type ones. They like to see those really good, strong cable ones. However, the Blue Book is very vague on it, and they just say that it has to be suitable for your vehicle. Mud flaps, whether you're deciding to rally on the tarmac or on sealed surface, you do need to fit regulation mud guards. They have to stick out a certain distance from the wheels and have to be a certain height off the floor. The last thing you're going to need is a Motorsport UK passport. Now basically what you do is you get a scrutineer to come and inspect all the things that you have to have done to meet the regulations to go rallying. Same as any test, it's quite daunting, but however, if you've ticked all the boxes and you've done a good job of building your car, it will not be an issue. I'm not saying that that's everything that you have to do to build a rally car, because there's an awful lot of other things that you need to carry. I will definitely make a future video on that. I'm also going to make a video of the top 5 things that I would have done differently when I built my Rally Mini. And if you don't want to miss that, please subscribe, smash that like button, and I will see you next week. Ta-ta for now.